Okay, guys, good morning. Hope everyone is good. This session is going to be a little bit different. We're going to go through the analysis as always, and then at the end, we're going to go through market direction. So, how to identify long-term direction and short-term direction, and just basically have a solid understanding of what I'm looking for in the market and why. So, I'm going to go through that a little bit as I am doing the analysis. So, let's get rid of the daily open and close here. So, as we can clearly see here, overall direction is bullish. We have really long-term moves to the upside. Short-term direction is obviously to the downside. So, well, what are we looking for here? Long-term, we've seen this move to the upside. It's a downside touching the recent high. So if we look at the weekly, we can clearly see that. We can clearly see that we haven't had any red weeks or bearish downtrends since this break here, which was in January. So all this year has been bullish. We had a few weeks of consolidation and then a move to the downside because the market has to move in a trend. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. This is a higher high. We had a higher low here. Didn't really touch this high here. That's absolutely fine. Obviously, a lot of buy pressure. Higher high, and now a higher low. So that is the higher time frame move to the upside, the higher time frame trend, and now we're starting to see buy pressure at this level. The shorter term move is to the downside. So if we take a look at the daily, we had a move to the downside here, seeing a exhaustion to a level of sell pressure. It's probably going to see an exhaustion up to here, to be fair, but more than likely we are going to see a continuation of this trend. Push, exhaustion, continued move, and then the higher time frame move comes into play. So more than likely going to get a double bottom here, more than likely going to see sellers come in here today and then move to the downside. So that's short-term and long-term fundamentals and also technicals as well. I'll also go through more examples as I go through. So 1 hour time frame, we've seen that on the lower time frame, we've actually made a higher high, right? Made a higher high, potentially a higher low, but obviously the higher time frame is to move to the downside to touch this level and then move to the upside. Nevertheless, if we do see buyers come in, 1 second, if we do see buyers come in here, we'll still catch a trade to the downside today as we reject this zone here. This zone here, we've seen previous buy pressure and sell pressure across the board. So it would have to be a super, super bullish day for this to break this level. So we're looking for a sell at this level here. Really, really simple day today. We have some news today, I believe. Let's just take a look at this. Why is it not clicking? Terrible. So we have durable goods today at 13:30, which should move the market to the downside. Oh, it's too late now. There we go. 13:30, which again at 2 o'clock should move this to the downside. Maybe a slight stop hunt here and then move to the downside. So looking for that move today. And that is short-term and long-term direction on the US 100. Let's go to the US 500. So first things first, what's the long-term direction? Weekly, obviously to the upside. We broke the all-time high in January. Haven't seen anything in terms of a pullback since then. Again, here, probably going to see an exhaustion to this level. But we have seen it previously where we have just seen a minor exhaustion and then the continued move. It doesn't have to come all the way to this level. I need to get rid of these adverts. I need to pay for my subscription again. So we could see a full and complete exhaustion here. But as we've seen previously, when we are in a bullish trend, we can literally just see one bearish candle and then it continues to move. When this does go into an uptrend, it can be very, very aggressive. So honestly, looking at this last uptrend, looking at this last uptrend here, looking at this last uptrend here, this could just continue moving to the upside. But nevertheless, we're probably going to see some kind of move to the downside to this level and then move to the upside. So we're at a level of sell pressure now. Long-term direction to the upside, short-term direction to the downside, as we probably, again, more than likely going to see a double bottom, but we could just see a higher low and then a higher high. Still, though, we could be in a decent trade today for at least a one-to-one to this level here. And then tomorrow, we can probably catch along. We'll see what happens at this level. I do believe that we are going to see sells today, counter trend or a short-term trend to the downside before moving to the upside. So that is US 500, US 100, short-term and long-term direction, identifying the overall direction. I'll do some more examples on some currency pairs as well. So US 30. So long-term, obviously moving to the upside. We broke this high here. Again, in December, this was. Long-term to the upside, short-term to the downside. We've seen a break of support now going to turn into resistance. We're at that level now. So short-term to the downside. Again, this is probably going to see a move to this level and then continue moving to the upside. So I'm only going to go for a trade here, probably to this level, because it broke out of there. This is the high, push, higher time from exhaustion, continue move to the upside. Sells today, short term to the downside, long term to the upside. As simple as that. All you have to do to realize the higher time frame trend is go to the weekly time frame. That will literally show you everything that you need to know. Daily time frame for your obviously medium term, and then 1 hour for your short term. That should give you a broad spectrum of the market direction. Let's go to gold, everyone's favorite. So gold here, we go to the weekly. Obviously, long-term gold is to the upside. Short-term to the downside because we've actually broken a level, but we can see bullishness. We go to the daily. We can see here that we've actually broken a level of support here. So short-term to the downside. We can also use the fundamentals here. So we can use the long-term, gold is bullish. Yeah, medium-term, gold is stronger than the US dollar. Short-term, we've actually got short-term gold to the downside. So the fundamentals will help you with this. Obviously, long-term to the upside, as we can see. Short-term, we are seeing sell pressure at this key level here. So short-term moves to the downside. Is there anything here that I would trade? Let's have a look here. We have this level of consolidation. What I would love to see, which I don't think we are going to see, is a minor move to the upside and then a break during the US session for a trade to the downside. Could probably catch a trade here. I would like to go to the low. That's what I would like to go for. Does that level make sense? It does, but not historically. There we go. That's a lot better. So yeah, minor move to the upside, then a continued move to the downside. We'll see what happens during the US session where there's a lot of volume in this. This can move during London session though, so it wouldn't surprise me that it does just move to the downside. I don't really like trading it during London. It doesn't really appeal to me. So that's that. We're gonna go to another example of long-term and short-term direction. British pound against US dollar. So let's get rid of this. Okay, so weekly time frame here. What can we see? Well, we can see obviously that we're in this higher time frame level of consolidation. Medium time frame, it looks as though we are moving to the downside, doesn't it? Because we broke this level. Looks as though we've moved to the downside, minor exhaustion, maybe a continued move to the downside. Daily, we have, yep, looks bearish, moves to the downside here. We've actually broken this daily kind of. Let's just try and put it there. Wait a minute. Yeah, buy pressure there. Let's get rid of this one. We don't need that one. That is that. So we've seen the move to the downside, move to the upside. So medium term to the downside, short term potentially to the downside. We have broken this level, but to be honest, it hasn't broken the high. So it's fine. It's still bearish until it breaks this level here. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower higher. It hasn't broken this high yet, so it's not a higher high. So this is still bearish. This still has potential to move to the downside. And then again, fundamentals can help you with this. So long term, looks as though the Great British Pound is actually weaker than the USD, just like we said. If we go to the weekly, the past couple of weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we've been moving to the downside. So that makes sense. Medium term, moving to the downside. Short term, moving to the downside as well. So everything is bearish here, which goes with our analysis. Nice downtrend on the 1 hour. Hasn't made a higher high yet, so obviously the Great British Pound isn't stronger than the USD. It's as simple as that, guys. So that is it. That's the analysis for today. That is a bit of market direction. Hope that it's helped you guys and given a bit of education. Thank you guys for watching. And yeah, I hope that you've learned something. Thank you, Archie, Bruno, Darren, H, Hyperdrive, and NF Tacky. Nice, brilliant. Thank you guys. See you later at 2:30 p.m. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Bye bye.